How has your client debrief technique changed since seeing James's module on the subject?
I definitely go into much more detail now. It used to be that I only asked if the skills were right. Can the guy do the job? And if the answer was yes, then I was happy. Now I try to ask about the personality match as well. Does he fit the culture? And much more detailed questions. I find that leads to a better deal.
Have you started using these debrief opportunities to get you closer to a sale each time?
Yes, absolutely. I've started asking, are you considering making him an offer every single time? It's a good closed question, and it gets me an answer either way. If the answer is yes, then I have a natural segue into talking about other offers that the candidate might have, thus increasing the urgency for the client and moving the process along.
Obviously, it's important to get an answer either way, but sometimes it's not the answer you want, right?
Sometimes that can be frustrating. But I think that even if it's the answer you don't want, as long as you listen to the client, you can find out a lot of useful information that may actually lead to a sale down the road. I'm thinking of an example here where I had a candidate interviewing at a client. When I asked, are you considering making him an offer, the answer was clearly a no. What I found out was that they wanted more client contact from the candidate. After that, I sent 3 other candidates with similar profiles but more client contact and got 3 offers.
When the client says he's not interested, what has James's advice really helped with?
Now, when the client says that he's not interested, I try to pull the candidate away in order to test how serious the client is. If he says that it's fine for me to send the candidate to other places, I know that he isn't interested. However, if he turns around and asks me to hold off, I know that there is potential interest there, and I've increased my position of strength for future negotiations.
What other element of James's advice has been invaluable?
I would say that it's all about pre-closing. I now try to pre-close at every single step of the way, but especially before the second interview, I try to close my client by asking, provided that this interview goes well, are you prepared to make an offer at this level? That takes away any surprises that might loom down the road. Now, I also try to close the client a little bit higher in terms of salary than what the candidate was expecting. That gives me room for negotiation and flexibility, and if there is any negotiation, I can keep both sides happy.
In the debrief, is there anything that you're asking now that you weren't asking before?
I ask every single time who else met my candidate in the interview process. First of all, it helps me grow my network inside a client that I might be placing with quite frequently, and also it helps me prepare other candidates for future interview processes. Lastly, I think that it's a really good indication of how successful the interview went. If my candidate has been introduced to many individuals at a senior level in my client company, then it's a really good indication that there might be an offer on the way.